Hello everyone, welcome to this video. I'm Dhiren and I'll be showing you how to integrate ServiceNow with Azure DevOps using Exalate. Alright, so this is the documentation page of the Exalate, and you can just comment down here and just click on the tools that you want to connect. So in this case, we'll choose Azure DevOps and ServiceNow integration. Uh, like Exalate is a fully decentralized bi-directional application, so you can like install it on both the sites that you're looking to connect, and then you can choose the connection type and set up your connection and start syncing. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to create a connection and synchronize both the platforms using two different modes. So we can use a basic mode with Exalate, and we can also use the scripted mode for advanced functionalities and amazing customization capabilities. So yeah, let's just start the tutorial just to give you a glimpse of how it works. So on the Azure DevOps side, the installation can be done from using the Azure DevOps Marketplace. There's a link given here. You can go to this and uh, there you'll find Exalate, and you can click on the Get button, choose the organization on which you want to install it, and then yeah, there are further steps. And there's a video given here as well. So it just takes almost 5-10 minutes to install it, and then we have the installation on ServiceNow, which will take a little bit longer. For dev environments, you can use it. You can just use the installation from the update set. So there's a tutorial here, like set up your Exalate instance now using update set. And for production environments, you can even download it from, like, you can download the Exalate Bridge app from the ServiceNow store. All right, that was just a glimpse of how it works. Now, for this video, let's proceed. So yeah. So what you need to do to access the Exalate app on the ServiceNow store is on the ServiceNow instances, you can just type in console here, and you would be getting a link to the Exalate Bridge app. I have already opened it here. Uh, for the first time, you just need to log into it using any of the authentication protocols. On the Azure DevOps side, you can just go to the organization settings, and under extensions, you will find Exalate. All right, now let's create a connection. To create a connection, what you need to do is you have two buttons here on the connections page, and you have the same two buttons on the other side as well. So you just click on initiate connection, and you just put in the Azure DevOps instance URL, and you just paste it like this. Now it will just validate if Xstate is on the other side or not and give you these two options. So let's click on the basic mode, and you have two options again here if you have admin access or not. So we choose with this one for now. Click on initiate, copy the invitation code, click on the done button. This is how it creates a connection. Now you just need to complete it by going on the DevOps side, which is the destination, accept invitation, just paste the code, click on the next button, and select the project to get started with. So you can even like create multiple connections with this one, but with basic mode, what you the limitation is that you can only synchronize it to one project for each connection. Um, yeah. So just to give you also some more info on the basic mode, what all is included is basically that you can only synchronize uh, four types of fields with this. Let me just refresh this page once. Just give it a minute, please. Maybe there's a session thing, so I'll just refresh it. Yeah. So with the basic mode, you can only synchronize four fields. That is the title of the ticket, description, attachments, and comments. Um, for more fields, like for example statuses or any other custom fields that you would want to synchronize, you can go ahead with the script mode. All right, let me just try again. Next button. Okay, awesome. So the connection is now successful. If you just refresh the connection page, and if you, yeah, this is the connection that we just created right now. If you edit the connection as well, you would be able to see under the rules section only these things are supported. So these few fields are there. You cannot really add or remove any kind of mapping here. If you try to add mapping, it will ask you to upgrade the connection to script mode. Now let's do a quick test here. Let's see how this works. So for example, I create a ticket on my demo project on the Azure DevOps instance. Let me give it some details. So a new task on in Azure DevOps, some description with the task. Let me just save this one. Now to synchronize it, what you can do is just click on the Exalate button here, choose the connection to which it needs to go through. For example, in our case, it was something like this. So this is the connection name. We Exalate it. Now this panel would show us the status of synchronization. In the next example, we can even see the sync from ServiceNow to DevOps. This is just an example, but it can be initiated from either ways. Doesn't really matter. So yeah, as soon as the ticket gets synchronized on the other side, you get to see that the status gets changed to synchronized here, and you get a remote link, which is a clickable link, and it takes you to the ticket that is created on ServiceNow. So if you would see the ticket, you would find the details. The title is mapped with the short description, and the description gets mapped with description. What we can also do is we can add some details on the ticket. We can add, let's say, comment from ServiceNow and even just post it. And we can try to add an attachment as well. Just give me one sec. I'll just take a log file, yes, and let's just upload this one. Okay, so these details again would be updated on this ticket in a couple of seconds. By the way, the ticket creation process can be automated as well via creating a trigger. So a trigger is nothing. It's just like a query. So for example, you can just click on create trigger here, and you can just type in your condition. So it works on the basis of the filter itself, what the system supports. So in Azure DevOps, you can use WIQL, work item query language. If you want to see the syntax, you can just go to find more details and see the syntax here. Yeah. Yeah, so let's come back, and let me actually open this in a proper view. So let's open it. Okay, so just give it a couple of seconds. Yeah, and if you see the comment arrived from the ServiceNow side, it even mentions the author. So I'm logged in with an admin account, so it shows you system and administrator commented, and then followed by the body of the comment. And yeah, of course, our attachment also got synced, the one that we tried to sync. So yeah, this is pretty much it. What the basic mode would do. Yeah, if you add a comment in video as well and save it, this would again be picked up. So once the ticket is synchronized, any updates are pretty much automated. So this would again go back to the ticket on on the ServiceNow side. So it happens like around a minute or so. That's what you can expect. Yep. So yeah, this is what all is included basically. The next one is the script mode. So uh, with the script mode, basically each and every kind of field is supported. So either it's a drop down field like a select list, or for example a custom date field, or any text field, any kind of field is supported. You can synchronize statuses, priority, users, assignees, like etc. etc. Let's just create a new one, or what we can also do is we can upgrade this connection. So let's say we upgrade this one, and yeah, that's all right. So in the script mode, the this is basically the heart of the connection, which is what we call the rules. So you have outgoing and incoming sync rules on both sides. So the script mode works on GUI based scripting. uh, yeah, you have these two rules available on both the sides of the connection. So if we go back to connections, just refresh the page, and if we just edit the connection, you would see that you would have an outgoing and incoming rule here. Uh, Now let's just understand the logic. Let's say that if a ServiceNow ticket gets created and it tries to synchronize to DevOps to create a new work item, the information that you want to sync from ServiceNow gets passed over from the outgoing sync, uh, and this information gets received over and gets handled here in the incoming sync of Azure DevOps. So it's like a cross mapping. Anything that goes out of ServiceNow will be mapped into the incoming of Azure DevOps. How the fields get mapped is very simple. I'll just zoom it in a little bit. So if the entity table is incident, then you have all these information. That's what it means right now. That's like a template, but we can add or remove our own things. So yeah, one more major difference between the basic mode and the script mode is that with basic mode you can only synchronize incidents, but with the script mode you can synchronize any table that you want to. So for example, problems, requested items, service requests, tasks, or change requests, any kind of table is possible to synchronize. So this is these are uh, the fields on your incident table. What happens here is that these get mapped into a replica variable, and this replica part, in this case replica summary, let's say, this gets mapped, this gets transferred over to DevOps, and when it tries to synchronize, uh, this is how it gets handled. So again, this replica dot summary will map the information into whatever you know field you want to map it to on the DevOps side. So by default, we have mapped four fields for you, but then you can add or remove your own fields, and we'll see how the customization works as well. So let's take an example. Let's say that we go to our incidents and we want to now synchronize a new ticket. So let's create a filter, and this is what automation would be. So now we'll be seeing how automation works. Let's say that we make the automation on the assignment group, and we say that if the assignment group is database, then we want to synchronize that ticket. So what we need to do is this: we copy this query, we go to connections, we go to triggers, we add a new trigger here, paste that query and activate the trigger. And now, for example, we just create a new ticket. We say that the assignment group is database. This is because we want to match the filter that we created. We give it some details, a new incident in ServiceNow that needs to sync with uh, Azure. Let's say some description again, and we save this one. All right, so now let's just see how this ticket synchronizes, and then we will do some kind of customizations here. So let's go back here. Let's go to work items. Okay, it just takes like a minute or so. By the way, we can also monitor the sync by going to the sync queue. So the sync queue shows, what uh, transactions are happening in real time. So as you can see, there is one transaction going from the outgoing sync queue from ServiceNow. Uh, as soon as that goes over, it would be coming into the sync queue on the DevOps side. Right now, there's nothing because it really happens very fast. And if you go back to the board now, just refresh the page, you would see that the ticket is now created already. So that's the reason why we didn't see it. Okay, you again have the panel which gives you the link, and this is again fully bidirectional. So now there are some things that we can do here. So for example, let's say that if we want to synchronize the ticket number from ServiceNow to a custom field here. So let's say that uh, we want to synchronize this ticket number into mind state field, for example, on the or even we can take Jira key. It's just a custom field, so it doesn't really matter. What we will do is that first we need to send it out from the outgoing sync from ServiceNow. So the ticket number is already included. If you see entity.key, this is what is sending the ticket number into replica.key tag. Now, what we need to do, we need to receive it on the incoming sync script as well. So what we do is we just come down, edit the connection, and we say that work item dot, and then let's say we want to sync it here into this Jira key field. So we just write Jira key, and then we just write equal to, and then replica dot key. This is what we want to write. So we just publish it, and let's say that we just make an update here, or even what we can do is just added a comment. So comment from ServiceNow one, and we post it. All right. So let's go back here and see what happens. So if you see the ServiceNow like ticket number is populated in the Jira key tag, this is what happens. What we can also do is we can map the statuses here. So let's say that if you want to map the in progress state from ServiceNow to doing state on DevOps. So we need to just ensure that our statuses are going from the ServiceNow outgoing, which is already here. So let's come down here. So there is a status synchronization code available on the DevOps incoming. It's just a suggestion. So you can just copy this code and paste it here in the script, and you can now make your changes accordingly. So let's just map one state here. So let's say in progress goes to doing, for example. And then here in this line, which where it says replica.status.name, this is something that we need to change because here the example that was just an example, but in our case we are getting the status in the replica.state tag. So we just need to change it to replica.state, and yeah, that's what we want to do. And yeah, it's just a line for syncing default status, but yeah, we can just remove it as well in our case. It's not really mandatory. So let's publish it. And now let's try to change the status from new to in progress and see what happens on DevOps. And by the way, we can also bring certain details from DevOps. Let's say in the correlation ID field on ServiceNow, if we want to bring the key from DevOps, the ticket number, we can also write in the incoming sync, we can say entity dot and then the name of the field, which is correlation underscore ID. So correlation underscore ID equal to replica dot, it should be key, but let's go back and just confirm. So replica.key is the value that we want to receive, which is nothing but work item key. So now let's again go back and publish the rules. All right, let's go back to DevOps and see what happens. So the status got changed to doing already. If you see, if you even go back to the history and see, it would say that the state got changed to doing. This user is basically the integration user in my case. It's a proxy user, but yeah, this got changed. And if we just update it again, so let's say we updated again from DevOps. If you save this, this would again just populate the correlation ID field on the ServiceNow side. Let me see if everything is okay. Okay, it's still under synchronization. If you go to sync queue, okay, okay, sync correlation ID. Let's reload the page. Okay, it got synced just now. Am I even looking at the right ticket, please? Uh, 11019. Yeah, that's the new one. Let me refresh the page. Ah, okay. So yeah, if you see the correlation ID, it is populated with 174. So yeah, that's the key that want to we wanted to see. Now this is how the customizations are possible. You can synchronize a lot of information using these things. You can it's possible to even synchronize like a reference field or a user field. You can check out our documentation page for more info. So if you go to our documentation and if you try to search for relevant documentations, you would get a lot of help in finding code snippets that you can actually use in scripting. So for example, how to synchronize priority in ServiceNow, for example, between Jira and ServiceNow. So you can actually take like a lot of help. So you would get what you need to write on the outgoing, on the incoming, on certain things. We have a document on how to sync reference fields, for example, uh, how to send and update reference fields. So if you want to sync any field, this is how it would be possible. You can try out Ada. So Ada is our AI assistant, which we have recently launched. So she's still learning, but she can be used for a lot of documentation stuff as well. So you can just select the connectors, uh, Azure DevOps and ServiceNow, for example, and you can just write how to sync um, custom fields, for example, and you can just give it a go. So it will take a minute and then give you some results. We have a lot of other resources as well, like the community website is pretty cool. We have Exalate Academy, so you can just go to Exalate Academy and watch these basic videos. It's like a short video library, 3 4 minute videos. Uh, yeah, that's all. All right, so Ada gave us this result, exactly what we wanted to know. That's it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this was helpful to you, and see you. Bye bye.